Hey guys, what's up? J-Gigs Gaming here with some more Summoner's War. What I want to talk about today is going to be geared towards the newer players. And what I want to talk about today is some monsters that you're going to see very early on that are very important. I remember being new, and every single time I pulled a monster, I was in the chat asking, is this monster good? Is this monster good? Is this monster good? And it does take a while before you start to recognize who is worth putting effort into and who is food. So I just wanted to give you, we're going to go over 3 today. There are certainly more, and I will make more videos like this, where I gear it towards the newer players, and it's based on 2-star and 3-star monsters that can really have an impact on the way you play the game very early on. So we'll get right into it. The first one I want to talk about is the Wind Warbear. Awakened, he is awakened, he is Ramagos, and in my opinion, he is the most useful early game monster. He, as far as making the biggest change the earliest for you. When you pull him, make him a priority, get him awakened, get him to 4-star as quick as you can, and then at least he's absolutely 100% worth a 5-star. Worth a 6-star if you want to. I have not wanted to yet. I have not needed to. And by the time I was 6-star in monsters regularly, I outgrew the need for him for now. But that doesn't mean I'll never use him again. He can have his uses later on. But he's going to totally change the game for you very quickly. The things that he's capable of at the point in the game he's capable of them are unmatched. There's not another monster that brings what he brings to the table. So let's get into it. He's an HP monster, so he's going to have a good base HP, and that's the stat you're going to want to focus on with him. Nothing else matters. Speed is important on everybody, so that's something to keep in mind as a blanket. It's more important on others, on some monsters than it is on others. He's one of the others. It's important on him because it's important on everybody, but it is not crucial for his success, especially early game. So you want to worry about getting his HP as high as you can get it. And the way you're going to do that early in the game is with energy runes. An energy set is just 2 energy runes. So you can put 3 energy sets on him. And each set gives a 15% bonus. So you've got 3 energy sets on him, you've got a 45% bonus in his HP right there. And that 45% bonus applies to his base stat. So it doesn't apply to total. So it's 45% of whatever this white number is. As I said in another video, 135 is always the same. 246 can vary, but HP percentage can go on 2, 4, and 6. It will show up in all of those spots. So look for percentage versus flat stats, which means it won't have the percentage there. You want the percentage runes. And everything except speed, because it doesn't exist on speed, you want percentage on 2, 4, 6. So HP all around, energy sets, and let's spike that HP up. Now let's talk about his skills. Thrash, it's just a regular attack. The damage scales according to his max HP, and it has a 50% chance to reduce the enemy's attack bar by 25%. So attack bar reduction is always a plus. It's always useful. Very, very important. And the cool thing about this attack scaling on max HP is that if the enemy puts an attack break on him, it doesn't matter, because it's not scaling based on his attack, it's scaling based on his max HP. And you're probably going to use him to farm Hydini, and there are enemies in Hydini that will put an attack break on you. So some of your farmers can suffer from that. He will not. Second skill is Crouch. It's a heal and a defense buff. So it's 30% heal with 30% heal and a defense buff for 2 turns. So very, very useful. Now, if I'm not mistaken, now the cooldown, I could be wrong here. The cooldown is reflected when it's skilled up here. I don't know that this percentage is reflected. So like this said 5 turns initially, but now because he's skilled up it says 3. This says 30% now. I don't think that was 10% to begin with. So I think with the skill ups now it's 50%. I might be mistaken. I do need to research that because I actually did not realize that this was reflected in that until today. So I don't feel like it always was, but that's something else. So I believe it's 50% based on what it looks like when he heals, but it might just be 30. Either way, it's very beneficial. And his third skill, and the reason that this is the skill that makes him so important right here. Attacks an enemy, inflicting the amount of HP you've lost as damage. You gain an extra turn if the enemy dies. So, and you get the skill when you awaken. So, let's say you've got him at 18,000 HP. You notice that he's at 50%. His green bar is halfway down. You use clean shot, he's going to hit for 9,000. It doesn't matter if they have attack reduction. It doesn't matter if they have glancing put on him. It doesn't matter if they have a defense buff. It doesn't matter if they have immunity. There's nothing they can do to stop it. It's going to do that amount of damage, unless they have invincibility on for that turn. And you're not going to run into invincibility a lot. You're not going to run into it in Hydini at all. But if you're using him in PvP, you're not going to see it a ton early game. So that's what's so cool about this skill, is that it does exactly what it says it's going to do, regardless of what else is going on. So very useful. And then the extra turn if the enemy dies, that's the icing right there. That's what bumps it up to that next level, because what's going to happen is you're going to let his health get low, you're going to clean shot, you're going to get the extra turn, and you're going to crouch and heal back up. And that's the pattern. That's how you use it. I mean, and it's unstoppable. You get to a certain amount of HP in Hydini, and they can't kill it. They just don't have an answer for it. So you let his health get down. If you're manualing it, let it get down to about 25%, 20%. Clean shot, kill somebody with it, crouch, rinse and repeat. Crouch also puts the defense buff on, which leaves him less vulnerable. So even though he's low, he doesn't heal himself all the way back up. He's got the defense buff for 2 turns. So, I mean, they're barely going to be inflicting any kind of damage on him. So by the time his health is low enough that clean shot would be significant, the cooldown's gone. And you'll clean shot again, and you'll heal again. And they just can't stop it. So, let's go show you an example of that. We'll go to Hydini Hill, we'll go to 5. And we will just take... Come on now. Here he is. Oh, you bastard. We'll just take Ramagos by himself and we'll let him auto it. And if you remember, my Ramagos only has about 22 or 23,000 HP. God. Which is not a lot. You know, some of the later game Ramagoses have, you know, upwards of 40,000. So, but I'm kind of glad mine is not super. I don't have, you know, mine has leftover runes right now, and I'm kind of glad because it gives a better example. He's closer to the kind of Ramagos you'll have early game, so you get to see a better example of what it's going to look like when you do this. So, but yeah, as you can see, he's tanky by nature. Even with defense break, he has the elemental advantage. So, you know, he's not really ever in any real serious danger. His AI is pretty good. The way he's going to do clean shot on when it's autoing, his AI, once he gets below 50% HP, he's going to clean shot. And then almost always crouch after he clean shots. Every now and then he'll derp, and he'll clean shot and then attack, and then he'll eat a couple of attacks, and then he'll crouch. But I've never seen him just let himself die. So he's usually pretty good about managing the fight on his own. And I mean, even without the defense buff, they're only hitting him for 240, 360. The elemental hits harder, but even so, you know, they don't have an answer for it at all. Look at nuts, I'm done, man. As you can see, they put the attack break on him. It's not changing anything. Everything he does scales off his HP. So the higher you get his HP, the better. And they just peck at him until he takes them out. So you know, it's super useful when you want to level up monsters early in the game. He's your food builder. He's your revolver. He's the one that's going to make all that happen for you. And you get to where you use him well. He can even be very beneficial early in the arena for you. So let's say it took him 2 minutes and 25 seconds. With a worse rune set on him, you're looking at maybe 3.5 minutes, 3 to 3.5 minutes. And early game, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So you know, early game, you take what you can get until you pull a better, faster farmer. The next one I pulled that farmed Haidini for me was Julian. And then I pulled a Lucian about 2 months ago, and Lucian just wipes through Haidini. And I pulled that Lucian, and now I can't stop pulling Lucians. I think I have 4 now. So I went as long as I went without having a Lucian, and just bam like that, I've got 4 of them. So I can't stop pulling Lucians now. But I digress. So that's the quick rundown of the Warbear. Extremely important. The minute you see him, he becomes a priority. Awaken him, level him up, try to get him to at least 4-star max level, and just get the best runes you can farm on him. You can farm Garen Forest for runes. Garen Forest drops energy runes, and the runes drop based on whatever level you're farming. So, you know, you farm your 1, 3, 5 until you get some good 2 or 3-star runes to put on him. And then you go farm 2, and you just keep farming 2 till you get that HP percentage rune, and then you do the same thing for 4 and 6. So try to get at least 3-star runes on it. At least 3-star, and you'll be good. Also keep your eyes open in the store, because sometimes you'll get some decent runes pop up in there. So that's the rundown of Ramagos. Now we'll get into Konamiya. He is the Water Garuda. He's another one you're going to pull really early and see frequently, so he's going to be very easy to skill up. Excuse me. He's a support monster. You're going to want to focus on his speed and his HP. And that's it. You want him to stay alive for a while, and you want him to be fast. That's what is required of him. His skill set, fully maxed, is a 64% chance to stun with his first hit, which is certainly nothing to shake a stick at. There's nothing wrong with getting stuns. Second skill is Resurge. It fills up an ally's attack bar and strengthens their attack power for 1 turn. So this has a few uses. Primarily, I would say use it in conjunction with your nuker. So you would want to have your turn order set up, and that's based on the speed that you give your monsters. You would want to have your turn order set up in a way where your nuker would go, and then Konamiya would go. So your nuker would hit somebody, and some examples of early game nukers would be like maybe if you pull a shark. Sharks are not super uncommon, so you might pull a shark. Maybe a fire Inugami, you see one of those. Even your Magic Knight that you're going to get after you clear, I think, the 3rd stage of the game. You know, she's a good early game attacker. So whoever your attacker is, you want them to go before Konamiya, so that they can hit, and then Kona can resurge them and give them the attack buff for that turn. So basically, they get an extra turn with an attack buff. So very, very useful turn. Another way you could use it is maybe you've got a healer, and you need to heal, and Kona's heal is on cooldown for another 2 or 3 turns. So you'll resurge your healer and give them the turn, and then they can heal. And if it's somebody like the Water Fairy, who, if I'm not, I could be wrong, I might be remembering this wrong, but I believe her heal scales off attack power. So you resurge your fairy, and you put that attack buff on her, and she heals somebody for a little bit more because she's got detective. Another example would be maybe his heal and cleanse has one more turn left on cooldown, and you've got resurge up. You can resurge yourself, and then that takes away that turn for that cooldown. So skill has several uses. It's a pretty diverse skill. Can be used in a lot of ways to benefit the team. His third skill is what we're all about. Removes all harmful effects on all allies and recovers HP by 15%. Okay, and I was right earlier in thinking that this does not reflect the skill ups, but I'm pretty sure that the reusable in turns does, because I know that this isn't reusable every one turn. So the cooldown skill ups are reflected in the description. The percentage is not. So fully maxed, this is a 25, 35, 45% heal. So a 45% full team heal with a full team full cleanse. That's ridiculous. Early game, any part of the game, it's very useful, but that's something you're not going to see out of a lot of monsters at all. So he's very useful in dragons. I believe people use him in raid. He can be helpful in arena. He can be helpful in TOA. He can be helpful in giants. He can be helpful in scenarios. He has his uses everywhere. You put him with the right team, and he is going to shine. So this full team full cleanse is killer. And then it's paired with a 45% AOE heal. So what I mean by AOE is it affects everybody. So yeah, that's really good. Runes. I don't know. I think you've ever talked about runes. I have mine on Violent Endure. I also don't use mine a ton right now. I've been focused on beating TOA 100 and climbing in the arena recently, so I haven't been focusing on my Dragons team, but I am about to shift focus and start doing that. So he's probably going to get a whole new rune set and a lot more attention. But the idea with Kona is speed, HP, HP. Like I said, these are crappy runes, but that's what you want on him. You want him to be fast, and you want him to stay alive for a while. Violent if you want him to get extra turns, which never hurts. Early game, you're probably not going to have Violent. You could do Fatal, so that he would hit a little harder. You could do Swift to give him the speed bonus if you have a good Swift set. But also don't forget, like I said in my other video, you can just do broken sets, because ultimately your goal beyond completing a set is to get these stats. Pick the key stats and get them up. For him, it's speed and HP. Those are the early game, those are the stats you're going to want to be high. Attack is a bonus, defense is a bonus. But speed and HP is what you want to be in. So, that's Konamiya. He's the Water Garuda. They're all 2-star. And then the last one I'm going to talk about in this video is Shannon. Now, Shannon is just amazing. She is going to be useful to you forever. She is part of my Giants 10 team, and until I'm super late game and I can run, until I have more 5-stars and I can run double Chimera, Galleon, Lucian, and ridiculous things in Giants, and I have the runes for that, she's part of my Giants team, and she's irreplaceable. Other members of the team I can swap out and play around with, but if I take Shannon out, I lose my consistency in Giants. She is what makes Giants happen, so I can't stress to you enough right now how important she is. So she's another one that really can turn things around for your team. She's a support monster. Again, out of her you want speed and HP, and you also want accuracy. I don't have a lot of accuracy on mine, and to be honest, I don't even notice it. She pulls through. She makes things happen even with the low accuracy. But the speed and HP are important. She can be a little squishy, so you want to boost that HP a lot, and you want her to be really fast. And we'll get to why you want her to be so fast in a minute. So let's talk about her skills. First skill, she has a 50% chance to put glancing on the enemy, which basically just means that they have a chance of not hitting you and they do a fraction of their normal damage if they land a glancing hit. So That's the first skill. That's very important, especially in areas like giants, because you'll learn pretty quick that the giant at the end of every giant's dungeon hits really hard. So if you can at least increase his chance of not doing so much damage, it's going to make a big difference for you. Her second skill, if it'll click on it, it's an AoE, and area of effect is what that means. I know I kind of explained that, but just so you, I don't think I said exactly what AoE means, but that's what AoE means. It hits all the enemies, decreases their attack speed with an 80% chance. With fully skilled, is a 100% chance. So all you need is the accuracy to proc, and it's guaranteed. Attack speed reduction, and that is also very important in giants because the giant already has slow attack speed. So if your monsters have decent speed and you put this attack speed reduction on the giant in the towers, your monster's going to get a few turns in between each giant's turn. And then if she's put a glancing on him, when he does get a turn, he's not even going to do that much damage. So those two skills alone are very important. Her third skill increases the attack power and defense of all allies for 3 turns, reusable in 4 turns. So it's a full team attack power and defense buff. This is what changes everything. This increases the survivability of my Giants team so much. Like if the giant hits everybody and she has not buffed, it's amazing the difference in the damage it does versus if she has buffed. It's ridiculous. And then you pair it with the fact that she can put a glancing on and she can slow his attack speed. So she's decreasing the frequency of his attacks. She's decreasing the effectiveness of his attacks. And she's increasing our ability to absorb his attacks. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. She's in every facet, she is on point. She's very beneficial and reusable in 4 turns. Here's where I was talking about that speed. You want her to be fast enough that by the time this cooldown is almost over, everybody else either still has or has just lost their buff. So paired with somebody like Bernard, for instance, she can keep buffs almost permanently on your monsters for the whole fight. And once you see what it does having those buffs, the difference in the amount of damage you do and the difference in the amount of damage you take with those buffs on, you're gonna be spoiled. It's gonna be really hard for you to not use Shannon. I played around in TOA a little bit, and I didn't take Shannon on some trials, and I was so spoiled on Shannon. Like, it was such a bummer watching my monsters take so much damage because she wasn't there to buff them. So she's gonna spoil you. You're gonna be a fan of Shannon, no doubt. Runes. She's an example of a monster that you are gonna want to make it a point to get a specific set on. And that set is Despair. She seems to proc stuns a little more frequently than other monsters, in my opinion, in my experience. And the reason you want Despair, it's a 25% chance stun. So you've got this AoE skill here. So if there's 4 enemies, mathematically, she's guaranteed to stun one of them. Does it always work that way? Absolutely not. Sometimes she doesn't stun anybody. Sometimes she stuns everybody. I'll say more often than not, she lands at least one stun. And then she'll occasionally stun with this, which is always, it's a perk, it's a bonus. But the fact that she has this AoE attack speed reduction, if she lands a stun and lowers her attack speed, they stay stunned longer. So I mean, just all across the board. If you can get a good Despair set on her, you're going to be fine. Again, there's a couple different ways to go here. Some people go speed, HP, accuracy. I like to go speed, HP, HP. So I'm more interested with her staying alive longer than I am with her landing everything. Because even with the 30% accuracy I have on her, she's still almost automatic. I mean, she still almost always lands everything I want her to land. So, and it doesn't affect the stun. Her accuracy doesn't affect her ability to stun. So that's 25% no matter what. But for me, 37% accuracy is sufficient. Speed, I go speed, HP, HP. and I'm on Despair Focus. I just happen to have the focus runes for her, but again, you don't have to have a second set. It doesn't matter what these words are over here. I have the Despair because there's an active effect, and I want that active effect, but other than that, I'm concerned with getting the speed up and getting the HP up. So those are the things to focus on with Shannon. Now, we're going to run into a scenario again, and we're going to take Kona and Shannon, and I don't have a good example of an early game attacker, so I'm going to have to take my Theo to show you in place. The good thing about that is that Theo is farmable. So you get into a guild and you save up your guild points, and you get an Ifrit. You got a 1 in 3 chance of pulling a Theo. And you can do it as many times as you want to get a Theo. So inevitably at some point you will pull a Theo. But insert any other attacker into the spot that I'm going to have Theo in. It can be the Water Magic Knight, it can be a Shark, it can be Fire Inugami. Any attacker that you get your hands on can be beneficial. And I'm not going to put Theo in the leader position because I don't want any leader skills. I just want to show you the idea behind how you would use these monsters together. So let's get right into it. Okay, so my Shannon is going to go first, and we're going to buff. Oh, I have it on auto, and she derped. Okay, so we'll start the next round. Okay, let's pretend we're starting here. So, first round, we're going to buff. So we've got attack and defense bonus on everybody. Now my Theo's going to attack. Now it's Kona's turn. We're going to resurge our attacker. And our attacker gets another turn. And then he violent proc, so we get another turn. I happen to have him on violent. So now our cooldowns are going to be screwed up because I forgot it was on auto. So now we'll decelerate. And 1 in 3, we landed a stun. That's not bad. Based on the percentage, based on the chance we have to land a stun, I'm okay with that. We landed attack speed reduction on everybody, and we stunned one. So we'll go for the target that's not stunned, because the one that's stunned is not a threat currently. So pick him out. I happen to violent proc again. We'll resurge our attacker. And we'll attack again. There we go, we landed glancing. And we took him out. So now, final round, we're going to buff. We're going to attack. We're going to resurge our attacker. We're going to attack again. We didn't kill it. Now we'll decelerate. 1 in 4. Land a stun. See what I mean? Like it's almost money. She's almost money. Every now and then it'll screw you up, but she's almost always going to land that attack speed reduction, and at least 1 stun. And she very rarely lets me down. So we'll take him out. Just for the sake of it, we'll remove this debuff and heal. We'll take him out. Should have saved that. So we put the defense break on. Put the glance. Let's research her and see if Pep Talk's ready. Oh, he violent proc. So we'll get that. Buff is ready. And that's what I mean. It's situational. You can use these skills as they benefit you the most in that situation. But that's the pattern. You want your buffer to go. You want your attacker to go. Then you would want Kona to research your attacker so you could go again. That's what Kona's there for. You don't have Kona around to do damage. So you only are going to attack with Kona when everything else is on cooldown. Other than that, you're resurging your nukers and giving them more turns. And those are the 3 monsters. That's it. Those are the three very important early game monsters that you take these 3 monsters paired with your attacker into the scenarios, and you use them correctly, you get them speed tuned, so that Shannon goes first, and then your attacker goes, and then Kona goes, and then Ramagos goes, or vice versa, however you want to do it. If you want Kona to go last, just make sure you get their speed set up correctly, and you're going to be good. That they're going to carry you. It's, and if every monster helps you learn. She gets you thinking about your cooldowns and how to plan for that, and he gets you used to looking at your attack bar and understanding keeping an eye on how much health you have based on what percentage of your bar is there. Kona gets you thinking about your attack order and what situation is going to be best for you to make your healer go, make your attacker go. So they all have very important uses, and they all have very good ways to teach you how to play the game and help you start working on your strategy, because strategy is also very, very important in this game. So those are the 3 I wanted to go over today. There are certainly several more, and I am going to make more videos covering some early game monsters for you guys, because like I said, I have not forgotten where I came from. I have not forgotten how difficult it is to be new in this game and have no idea what's going on, no idea what monsters are worth building. So I definitely want to gear some videos towards you guys and help you get started in the right direction. So I hope it was helpful. If it was, thumbs up helps me out greatly. And if you have any questions, anything like that, hit me up in the comments and I will answer them, guaranteed. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.